Hey guys, VideoJames, and I'm always talking about, we all know how I'm always talking about I have OCD, or I think I have it. Well, today, we're going to actually put that to the test, and see if I actually do have it, with this little quiz I found on quotev.com. So, first question we see is, do you often prefer left over right, or left over, or right over left? Ugh, I can't speak. That's probably one of the signs. But, I wanted to do this because I wanted to find out if I actually have it, because I'm always saying how I think I have it, or I do, but then in my back of my head, I'm always thinking, I don't really know what that entails, so I'm not sure. So, we're gonna see how much OCD I might actually have, and honestly, I would say I prefer right, because, that's my right hand. Right. Are you afraid of certain numbers? No. Why would anyone be afraid of a number? If you're putting on socks or shoes, do you always put on your left shoe or sock first, or your right shoe or sock first? Probably the left, because when I always think about it is, when I put on my shoes, I step into them with the opposite foot of my hand. So I'm like, if I'm right-handed, which I am, I step into a shoe with my left foot. So I'm guessing yes for left foot. If someone else writes your name on a paper, and it's only your first name, when you write your last name, do you erase and rewrite your first name? No, because it's still my name. Have you ever been doctor prescribed for OCD? No. Do you prefer saying yes over no, or no over yes? I don't get how that's supposed to do anything, but okay, no I don't. Do you prefer even numbers over odd numbers, or odd numbers over even numbers? I guess I would say probably maybe even. I don't know. Well, it depends on what we're talking about, though. That's some of the things with these quizzes, is sometimes they depend on what you're talking about, not what you're actually trying to figure out. But do I prefer certain even numbers over odd numbers? I would say I prefer even numbers just because they're easier to do math with and they just look better, and when you're using, like, counting stuff, going by even numbers seems a lot better. Probably even. If you walk into a room and it's messy, do you have the compulsion to clean it up? Sometimes, but not really. Say you're hitting something and creating a beat, and the beat's repetitive. Someone tells you to stop, do you have to finish the pattern of the beat? Well, usually if I'm just doing a simple beat in my head, like if I'm just tapping on a table, like, usually if someone tells me to stop, I'll just stop. But do I have to finish? Let me try. No. If you type a smiley face, do you type it a certain way? Like, and never like, or like, and never like. Well, I type it the first way, because that's how a smiley face would look on typing emojis. Say there's a pile of rocks in front of you. Half the rocks are blue, the other half are red. Do you want to separate the red and the blue ones? No, it's the Optimus Prime rocks. You walk into a room with two different colored tiles as the flooring. Do you try your best to avoid one color of tiles? No, see, this is all, like, weird stuff. This is, like, tiny little finicky details. Say you're petting an animal. Do you count how many times you pet? No. If you glance at a pill bottle, do you automatically want to read the label? Well, again, that depends, because if I'm looking at a pill bottle when I'm looking for a certain medicine, like aspirin or something, then I don't feel compelled to read the label. But if I'm looking out of the corner of my eye when I'm not doing anything, and I'll see a pill bottle, actually still no, because there's a bottle of my dog's medicine right next to me, and I don't really care to read that. Say you're looking at an abstract painting. Are you compelled to figure out something that the painting portrays? No. Not really, because I kind of like the mystery of abstract, that it's not one thing, and that it can be all kinds of different things, and it's just there to be mysterious and not be figured out. That's why I like abstract art so much, because it can be anything you want, and you don't have to figure it out, and it's just there, that it can be whatever it wants, and it'll just always be itself. Like with humans, how humans will always be there, and they can always be something different, and they can always be more or less, but in the end, they're still there, they're still the same person. So, no. Say that abstract painting is just a bunch of lines mixed together. Do you get aggravated because it doesn't portray anything like words or a photo? No, because lines can portray pretty much anything. You're in the middle of something. Do you get distracted easily? I would say no, because if I'm in the middle of something, like if I'm hardcore working on something, like say if I'm rewriting one of my lists, or I'm working on like an art project I'm doing for myself, or I'm just working on something for one of my games, then I would probably not get distracted easily. I mean, we all hear outside noises, but that's not like a distraction. A distraction is actually taking interest in the noise and finding out. So probably no. Say a person is wearing two very similar but noticeably different shades of color. Does that annoy you? Well, I don't really like it when people wear all one kind of color unless it's something like blue or black. Because black and blue seem to be the only two colors that kind of really go together. And I'm talking about like shirt and pants, not like anything else. But if it's talking about like hat and shirt, then that wouldn't bother me. So I'd say probably no. Because I don't really care about fashion that much. Do you repetitively click your pen on and off, or take the cap off and put it back on again multiple times? I actually am kind of guilty of that. Finally, do you believe you have obsession-compulsive disorder? Yes, that's why I took the quiz. Okay, it didn't click. Calculating results. You are 35% OCD. You answered 7 out of 20 questions correctly. I'm not sure if you have OCD, but you do show a few signs. So, I'm part OCD. It's possible you may have a mild case, but it's also possible that you're just different. Everyone is different in their own way. Okay, I'm liking this quiz. I'm liking that it's having like a positive message in the end thing. So you might have OCD. I try a few tests, like walk into a room that has different colored tiles, see if you immediately want to walk on only one color, or maybe you want to avoid one color. If you do, it's possible you have OCD. If you're going to try some tests, have fun. If not, well, thanks for taking the test. Have a wonderful day. And they type the smiley face like that. Oh, I like that quiz. That was a nice quiz. I can't really say that I'm not surprised by the result, because I honestly thought it would be higher. Because with how many of my bad habits I do, and how many obsessions I have about order and all that, I would think that I have a lot more OCD. But anyway, that was my OCD personality quiz. Apparently I'm 35% OCD. Wonder what the other 65% is. Probably psychopath, considering I've got 15 voices running through my head all the time. Anyway, forget I said that. I'm going to leave this video here. I'll leave a link down in the description of the quiz if you guys want to go try it out. And if you like this video, go ahead and slap the like button as always, and I will see you later.